Hey Huakuis, I'm going to touch a very common question today, whether you should be buying your first property, your BTO, EC, resale condo or new launch condo. I know everyone has an opinion. Your parents say one thing, TikTok say this thing, Instagram say the other thing, and your friend who just got married and now become property expert. So come on, let's cut the noise. I'll try my best to break it down to the simplest way possible. No hype, no bullshit. So now, should you buy a BTO? My teaching has been always the same. Is to always own a very good property portfolio, which is 2 private properties lah. It seems very hard to visualize an average working person owns 2 private properties. Starting off as a BTO is always a very good stepping stone. And I always use my sister as a very good example. She is not self-employed. She is employed, she's working, she has a family, she got 2 kids. A normal family. I remember my sister bought a sales of balance BTO. She do not need to wait for the construction lah. After she bought it, 6 months later, she can move into the flat. But many of you who is going to buy a BTO now, there's construction time of maybe 3 years. 3 years considered very fast lah, but sometimes 4 years. But let's take it 3 years lah. And everyone knows buying BTO, you will be what after MOP, which is true lah. Although she bought sales of balance flat, which is about 100,000 more than those people who bought earlier than her. When she sold her flat after MOP, she made double. What I mean by double is she bought the sales of balance flat at 320k, and I remember she sold at 645k or 640k, somewhere there. The main thing about selling the flat so that she can reinvest her profits into 2 private properties. She bought a 3-bedroom in City Fringe condo for investment, and I remember my brother-in-law bought a 1-bedroom new launch in City Fringe also. And this is how many people can start their journey, by using the profits from the BTO to reinvest to get 2 private properties in the end. And fast forward, SSD already over, and I asked her to upgrade to a 4-bedder. So my brother-in-law followed my advice, sell all the 1-bedder and upgrade to a 3-bedroom in OCR. So right now they enjoy 1 4-bedder and 1 3-bedder lah. So in summary, BTO is a very good start for people who have limited cash, you can't afford a condo, then go and buy your BTO in 2 names lah. My sister is a good example where how she can upgrade to 2 private properties that fast is because she chose sales of balance flat, whereby the waiting time is just 5 years after TOP. And right now, not like last time, now you have your PLH lah, whereby your MOP is 10 years not including the construction years then you start thinking, for those people who have chosen the PLH model, you need to wait for 3 years construction, then another 10 years MOP. That's like 13 years of your life before you can sell and upgrade to 2 condos. Again, you only do this if you want to achieve your 2 private properties. But if you are someone who just want to buy a HDB and nua for the rest of your life, that's your choice as well. I have created this channel, which is called a Huakui channel, is to teach people how to be rich with Singapore properties ma. I have never seen anyone who have a BTO staying in a flat and they are rich one. I don't see such people And mainly people who are rich usually are those people who have private properties. So with this simple idea and direction, I teach people how to own 2. I don't teach people how to buy multiple properties. Not like asking you to buy 10 20 properties. I just ask people, just buy 2 residential property So once you have 2 private properties, you are better than 90% of people out there It depends how hungry you are and how rich you want to become You can always stay with your HDB if you are happy with your lifestyle. That's totally fine. But if you think that you can do something more for yourself, for your next generation, then of course you need to start somewhere In summary, BTO is a very good start. You just need to limited down payment. Then in order to have very good appreciation for you to achieve your condo dreams next time. Okay, now let's move on to how about EC. Brand new EC is definitely a better choice than HDB. So let's go back to the direction of having 2 private properties in the end. If you have a BTO, like just now the example, in order to buy your 2 private properties, you need to sell your HDB. You need to sell, the keyword is sell, before you can buy your 2 private, 1 each. But not everyone dares to sell. So when you start buying a BTO, you will be in a very comfort zone in the flat. Therefore, many of you are emotionally attached to the flat and therefore you don't want to sell one ma. And once you don't sell your BTO, you can't buy your 2 private because if you keep your HDB and buy the second private, you need to pay ABSD. Unless you do the owner-occupier thingy before you buy your flat, whereby the occupier after MOP, you are allowed to keep your flat and buy your second property later without ABSD. But most of them, they don't do this. They need to sell their flat before they can move to the 2 private properties direction. And many of the people are very fearful doing the selling of HDB, thinking that if I sell HDB, I can't go back to HDB anymore. So this is the encouragement for you. When you have tasted money, we won't go back to HDB anymore. So we will always go private and we will buy bigger private . And for those people who are doing better, we will you can lend yourself into a landed property next time. EC is definitely a better choice than HDB because EC will be considered a private after 5 years. So in order to achieve 2 condos, you do not need to sell your EC, just need to decouple and one of the owners just come out to buy a second property. So this is a no-risk method to buy your second property because you do not need to sell your home. And the good thing about buying the second property, rental can cover your installment if you are less than 45 years of age. You can buy from 1.5 million to 3 million, rental can cover fully. So just buy and nua, then start learning. If Eric say buy 1.5 million versus 2 million versus 3 million and the rental can cover all your monthly installment, so no brainer. The bigger you buy is better because the absolute amount that you collect from the rental income for the next 4 years will be definitely more than the cheaper property ma. So again, it depends on your budget, and of course, before you buy anything, make sure you still have your emergency funds lah. This is just to assure you that whatever you buy, 3-bedder, 1.5 million to 3 million, the rental in today's market can cover your monthly installment. So that's a good thing to know. When I say decoupling is no risk, is because since you bought your EC at a discounted rate from the start many years ago, your current installment for your EC will be very cheap also. That's the reason I say decoupling is a very no risk way to achieve your 2 properties. You just need to pay your installment for your EC, which is very low, and the second property you buy is fully covered by the rental. So you will enjoy both appreciation and the rental income from one of the property that you own. So in summary, EC is definitely better than HDB because EC allows you to decouple to buy. You do not need to sell your EC. However, for those people who have HDB, you die need to sell before you can build a healthy portfolio of 2 private properties. Now next, let's go for resale condos. So I started my resale condo. I bought a 2-bedder in core region, which is not the right way to do. That's the reason I tell people, if you're a first timer, best to start as a 3-bedder. But at that time, I don't know ma. So whatever I teach is based on my experience that I've done before. Back then, I don't have enough money to buy one on my own. So I bought my first resale condo in Orchard 2-bedder with 2 more friends. This is a way how you can start if you have limited funds. So I also have limited funds, but I started going through buying my first resale condo. So fast forward 3 years after I bought, I sold and make 100% of the profit. I remember I put in 100, I sold, I took back 200. So I make 100 100 over 100, 100% over 3 years. So about 30% per year, not too bad. This gives me faith to continue to teach people, hey, actually you can start doing this. Because I tasted money, I hope that everyone can do something for yourself. So for those people who is starting out, you want to buy your first resale condo, always go for 3-bedder. At this point of recording, 1.5 million is a good entry price where you can still find good 3-bedder near MRT. Now I'm going to show you the appreciation level for 1.5 million. Let me filter the compact 3-bedder size. So you see the latest one, look at the price, 1.44. There you can see it's getting cheaper and cheaper. That means it's getting more and more expensive. 1.4, 1.38, 1.34, you can see. This is what I call performing projects. Let's see 3 years ago, September, got any transaction? That means 2022 set. Okay, I found August, 1.158 million. You see, around 300 not inclusive of rental income. So the plan is you can start to buy a 1.5 million 3-bedder, and assuming you can take max loan for buying a 1.5 million, the down payment including stamp duty, legal fees, all in is 425,000. So you can use your cash and CPF. If you don't have enough funds, you can do what I do. You can partner with someone else and have some standard. Don't get 10 people to buy one residential property. Then what? You tell people, oh, I own a condo. No lah, you only own the doorknob. Best is to find one more partner, maybe two of you, then 50-50 oh. Then you enjoy the rental income and appreciation 50% of it lah. And let's say after 4 years, including of rental income, you make 400, then you split 200 each oh. After you sell, the plan is to buy the next 3-bedder on your own. So that's how I started, which I think you can do it as well. So the good thing about resale condo, you just need to wait for 4 years before you can reap all the profits. As for HDB and EC, they need to wait for 3 years of construction and 5 years MOP is 8 years. That means resale condo can flip 2 times and assuming 1 year 100, 8 years will be 800,000 And the good thing about resale condo, you can stay in immediately to enjoy and you can start your family immediately If not, if you treat it as an investment, you can rent it out and you can collect passive income every month. So that's a good thing about starting small into private property with limited funds. But even I say limited funds 1.5 million today, I repeat, you also need 425,000. So if you find one more partner, each of you also need to come out 200,000+ cash and CPF. Now let's talk about new launch condo. OCR 3-bedder, I think you need at least 2 million to 2.2 million for a start. And remember, whatever size you're going to buy in the new launch today, you can buy one size bigger in the resale market. Let's use the 1.5 million budget again. At 1.5, you can potentially buy a 3-bedder in resale. But for new launch, I guess maybe 2-bed 1 bath or 2-bed 2 bath. So as I say, the in thing today, the performing size is at least a 3-bedder. Even if you have a budget of 2 to 2.2 million, you can buy a small 3-bedder, which is a 3-bed 2 bath compact 3-bedder in the new launch. Or you can actually buy a 3-bed 3 bath or even 4-bedder in the same region. So that's the reason I always tell people, if you want to start small, you can always start resale. Buying a resale 3-bedder includes rental income and appreciation. You potentially make more than new launch 4 years later. Therefore, it's good to start resale because for resale it's lower budget, whereby you can reap more profits than getting a new launch. For new launch, it's good if you have more budget. This way, then you can buy a 3-bedder. And there's a lot of noise out there whereby many agents out there will say, oh, new launch is the best, new launch is the best. It's not true, because in the last 3 years, if you buy a good resale property, it perform better than most of the new launches in these 3 years. When I say most, it's almost 90% of the new launches. 3 years ago, I asked my sister-in-law to buy a 3-bedroom city fringe condo at 1.8 million. 1-year-old city fringe condo. At that time, I remember there's other new launches lah. She also can get a 3-bed 2 bath Lentor Modern at the same price, 1.8+ million. So fast forward 3 years recently she sold 500,000 capital gains plus 100,000 worth of rental income. So total net she should be making about 600,000. If Lentor Modern can make more than 600, then we can safely say that Lentor new launch is good lah. Okay, now see whether Lentor Modern got sub sale. Very good, recently got sub sale, and this is the 3-bed 2 bath closest to the price of 1.8 million at 1,009 per square feet and made 364,000. That means resale wins lah. Overall, all the new launches condos, only Pasir Ris 8 won all the resale. 3-bed 2 bath, bought around 1.6+ million, made about 500,000. This is a giant Huakui lah. They only buy around 1.5 million and make 785,000. Good resale properties actually make more than most of the new launches. So that's the reason I want to do this video, because different people at different age, different income range, you buy different type of property. I encourage you to start somewhere. BTO is a good stepping stone. EC is definitely even better. If you can do even more, you have more funds to down, then of course, buying private property is definitely better choice for you. Unless you have a lot of money lah, then new launch condo can be one of the choice. Before I end this, take note. Your first home is not your final home. Many of the people, when they buy property, they think that, oh, they will die inside. No lah, it will be a stepping stone to your next better one. So I encourage you to start small, dream big, and move. I'm going to do more of such videos. So do remember to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.